Okay, so our next integration technique is algebraic substitution. So this is usually done to simplify a more complicated integrands na syempre usually 'di ba pagka complicated, it contains radicals. So usually kapag ang integrand containing radicals, parang ang weakness natin para pag nakakita tayo ng radical, ayawan na. So ang ginagawa ng algebraic substitution is to convert very complicated integrands to a simpler one. Say for example, if I have here integral of x plus 1 dx over x squared plus 2x plus 5 raised to 7 halves. So, actually, we are doing this na when we dealt with general power formula. So, di ba sa general power formula, integral of u to the n du is u to the n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus c, provided that n must not be equal to negative 1. So, ang ginagawa, gumagamit tayo ng u substitution. So, you are to set a certain variable u dun sa function, tapos basta naka-raise siya sa constant exponent. In our case, meron tayong x squared plus 2x plus 5 na naka-raise sa 7 halves. So, n is not negative 1. So, pasok na pasok itong u to the n. If and only if this du actually has been satisfied. So, kailangan ko munang gamitan ng derivative. So, in this case, pwede akong gumamit ng u is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 5. Then, du here is 2x plus 2 dx. But 2 is common, so I can factor out 2x plus 1 dx. So, as you can see on your numerator, ang meron lamang ako ay x plus 1 dx, but the du requires 2 there. So, I can provide that 2 to make your numerator du. So, since walang 2, I have provided 2, and then I need to compensate it outside with its reciprocal 1/2. So, that 1/2 multiplied by 2 is simply 1 lang. So, this gives you 1/2 integral of, so from your substitution, since u is x squared plus 2x plus 5, whose derivative u is 2 times the quantity x plus 1 dx. So, your numerator now is 2 times the quantity x plus 1 dx, which is actually your du, over x squared plus 2x plus 5, which is actually your u raised to 7 halves. So, but this can be written as 1/2 integral of u to the negative 7 over 2 du, since gumamit lang tayo ng laws on exponents na pag itinaas mo yung exponent, it becomes negative. So, pwede na natin gamitin yung u to the n du, which is u to the n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus c. So, this now gives you 1/2 u to the negative 7 halves plus 1 over negative 7 halves plus 1 plus c. But this negative 7 halves plus 1 is negative 5 halves. So, this is 1/2 u to the negative 5 halves over negative 5 halves plus c. So, this 1/2 is to multiply with the reciprocal of negative 5 halves. So, magiging negative 2/5 ang ating multiplier. So, that this 2 cancels out with that, gives you negative 1 over 5 times u to the negative 5 halves can be written as u raised to 5 halves plus c. So, ibaba ulit. Ibalik siya dun sa dati niyang anyo. So, this now gives you 1 over 5 negative. It is preceded by a negative. Your u here is x squared plus 2x plus 5. So, I can now replace u with that original x squared plus 2x plus 5 raised to 5 halves plus c. So, notice that the algebraic substitution, so it looks like complicated because of the presence of this radicand here, di ba, fractional exponent. So, because of that fractional exponent, nag-let tayo ng algebraically ng u is equal to this function, and then from that complicated integrand, na-convert natin siya into simpler one, na 1/2 u to the negative 7 halves du, na pasok kay general power formula. So, this is the simple algebraic substitution that we have dealt with nung nasa general power formula na tayo. So, again, our main concern is usually is to convert this integrand containing radicals to free from radicals. So, yun ang main concern natin sa algebraic substitution. Kasi nga, di ba, pag may radicals, parang medyo nakakaburyong kasi nga masyadong komplikado. So, ginawa ni algebraic substitution gagawing simple. Ito, komplikado, masyadong maraming nakalagay sa given, pero pwede pala siyang i-simplify na ganito na pwede in general power formula. So, let us discuss some more examples na mas komplikado dito sa given na to. So, simulan natin ng example number 1. So, if I have here integral of x dx over the square root of 2x minus 1. So, I have there x dx over square root of 2x minus 1. So, in algebraic substitution, di ba ang sabi kanina, our main concern is to convert this integrand containing radicals to free from radical. So, di ba, what makes this given complicated is the presence of that square root. So, if I'm going to set u be equal to 2x, square root of 2x minus 1, kasi you have to eliminate nga the radical. So, you can let u be equal to square root of 2x minus 1. So, to eliminate the radical, I need to square both sides. So, squaring both, u squared is equal to 2x minus 1. So, if u squared is equal to 2x minus 1, so, this given requires the derivative of x, so I need to take the derivative of both sides. So, this gives you 2u du is equal to 2 dx. So, that this 2 and that 2 cancels out. So, magiging dx is simply u du. So, this now is equal to integral of your x is there. From your substitution, u squared is equal to 2x minus 1. So, to solve for the value of x, I need to transpose that negative 1. So, this gives you u squared plus 1 is equal to 2x. Since this requires x lang, I can divide this both by 2. So that the value of x is u squared plus 1 over 2. So, yun ang isa-substitute ko doon. So, u squared plus 1 over 2 multiplied by dx, which is u du, over your square root of 2x minus 1, which is actually your u. So, in this case, na-convert na natin ang ating integrand na merong radicals to free from radicals. So, ang aim lang ni substitution is papalitan na si x. Yeah, you have to palitan si x kasi nga komplikado. So, palitan mo na ng bago, which is u. So, itong bago, yun ang hindi magpapakomplika ng buhay natin. So, that this u cancels out. So, this gives you 1/2 integral of u squared plus 1 du. So, pwede na siyang i-integrate gamit ang basic integration formula. So, this is simply 1/2 integral of u squared du plus 1/2 integral of du. So, this is general power formula, u to 2 plus 1. So, that gives you 1/2 u cubed over 3 plus 1/2 u plus c. So, this is 1 over 6 u cubed plus 1/2 u plus c. But what is u? Your u is square root of 2x minus 1. So, this gives 1 over 6 square root of 2x minus 1 raised to the third power plus 1/2 square root of 2x minus 1 plus c. But this 2x minus 1 square root is 2x minus 1 raised to 1/2 raised to the third power. So, this gives you 1 over 6 2x minus 1 raised to 3/2 plus 1/2 2x minus 1 raised to 1/2 plus c. So, that therefore is our answer in our first example. So, again, our aim is to convert this integrand into a very much simpler one. So, dito sa algebraic substitution, hindi na tayo matatakot with respect to radicals. Kasi kaya namang gawa ng paraan. So, palitan lang. Kasi hindi tayo makaka-move on pag hindi natin papalitan si x. Okay, so I think that's a lesson here in algebraic substitution. So, number 2, you have integral of cube root of x dx over 1 plus cube root of x squared. So, in this case, meron ako nakikitang cube root. They are of the same indices. Same index. Okay. Ang index dito ay 3, ang index nun ay 3. So, parehas sila ng index. So, pwede natin siyang tanggalin. So, di ba, what made this complicated is the presence of this cube root. So, I can let u be equal to cube root of x. So, if u is cube root of x, if I am to raise to the third power, this u cube is equal to x. So, u cube is equal to x. So that this gives you 3u squared du is equal to dx. So para meron tayong pan-substitute sa dx. But cube root of x is u. So this is integral of u multiplied by, this is your substitution, u is cube root of x multiplied by dx, which is 3u squared du all over 1 plus cube root of x squared. So, cube root of x squared. So, cube root of x squared is raising this to the second power. So, if I am to square this, that gives u squared is equal to cube root of x raised to the second power. So, I can now substitute cube root of x squared be my u squared. So, this gives you 1 plus u squared. So, this now gives you 3 integral of u cubed du over u squared plus 1. So, in this case, there is a rule in basic integration formula na if the degree ng numerator is equal or greater than sa degree ng denominator, so meaning to say it's improper fraction, kailangan muna nating mag-divide. So, this is a, kumbaga, one of the golden rules. Divide first. So, as you can see, ang degree ng numerator ko ay 3, ang degree ng denominator ko ay 2. So, the degree on the numerator is equal to or greater than the denominator, you have to divide first. So, in this case, obviously, magkakaroon tayo ng long division. U cube, u squared plus 1. So, u cube divided by u squared is u. This is u cube plus u. So, meron ako ritong negative u because you need to subtract. So, again, ang ating format, when a numerator is divided by a denominator, the answer is quotient plus the remainder over the divisor. So, your quotient is u. So, this given can be written now as your u, which is your quotient. That's your quotient. Plus the remainder r, which is negative u. So, that is plus negative u over u squared plus 1 du. So, in that case, that gives you 3 integral of u du minus 3 integral of u du over u squared plus 1. So, this is simply basic. That is 3u squared over 2. So, to integrate this one, this is simply ln. If that's your u, which is u squared plus 1, ang derivative niya ay 2u du. So, I just need to provide 2 and then compensate 1 half outside. So, that gives you negative 3 halves. Ln of u squared plus 1, of course, plus c. But what is your u? So, you have to replace your u square pala. Your u square here is cube root of x squared. So, I can replace that with 3 halves cube root of x squared, that's cube root, minus 3 halves ln of cube root of x squared plus 1 plus c. So that therefore is our answer. So again, ang aim is to convert this integrand containing radical to free from radicals. So, as basic as it is. So, iisip ka lang talaga ng gagamitin mong substitution to solve for that particular problem. Another example. So, example number 3. So, what if I have integral of square root of y to the 5 minus 1 over y dy. So, in this case, ang square root ng y to the 5 minus 1 over y dy. So, di ba usually use the u substitution dun sa function na nagko-contain ng radical. So, I can use u be equal to the square root of y to the 5 minus 1. So, to eliminate the radical, I need to square both sides. So, u square is equal to y5 minus 1. So, syempre, mawawala na yung radical mo dito, which can be used lang or substituted lang as your u. So, it requires dy. So, I need to take the derivative of both sides. So, this gives you 2u du is equal to 5y to the 4 dy. So, the question there is, I don't have this y to the 4th here. So, ang kailangan ko, y to the 4th dy. So, I need to provide that y to the 4th over y to the 4th para masatisfy ko yung dy ko. So, rewriting that, so that gives you integral of the square root of y to the 5 minus 1, y to the 4th dy over y to the 5. So, you might be asking, Sir, akala ko ba, nung previous lesson natin, ang constant lang ang pwede nating i-provide at saka i-put outside. This is a different story. Kasi nga, kaya lang naman hindi tayo nagpo-provide ng variable before is ang aim kasi ng pag-provide ng constant tapos ilalagay mo lang sa labas. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pa rin siya kasama sa integration. In this case, kung maglalagay ako ng y to the 4th, dapat hindi mo ilabas yung y to the 4th. Kasama pa rin siya dun sa i-integrate natin. So, kaya it's valid. So, valid pa rin kasi hindi mo naman inilabas yung provide mong y to the 4th. So, kung halimbawa just to show you an analogy dun sa binabanggit ko. Halimbawa, I need to integrate ex squared dx. So, di ba? Para ma-integrate yan, ang u ko ay x squared. Ang du ko ay 2x dx. So, since wala akong x at saka 2 dx, so pwede akong maglagay ng 2x over 2x. So, di ba, ang usual na ginagawa lang natin, pinoprovide lang natin yung constant and then put that outside. So, in this case, kung ilalagay ko yung 1/2 sa labas, kasi constant lang naman ang inilalabas, ex squared 2x dx, magkakaroon ka pa rin ng over x sa baba. So, hindi siya pwede. But in this case, valid siya kasi hindi mo naman inilabas yung x na yon. So, kung ang iniisip mo ay mai-integrate mo to with e to the u, hindi ka pwedeng maglagay ng 1 over 2x integral of e to the x squared 2x dx para maipilit mo lang na ma-integrate yan ng integral of e to the u du. So no, hindi pwedeng ilabas yung variable kasi hindi naman siya constant. Kaya hindi ka pwedeng mag-provide ng variable and compensate that variable outside. It's not possible. Constant lang ang pwede. Pwedeng gawin provided nasa loob pa rin siya ng integral sign. Just like this. So, I provided y to the 4th and compensate with y to the 4th. Pero nasa loob pa rin ng integral sign. Hindi ko siya inilabas ng integral sign. Okay. So, in that case, so, meron akong y to the 4th dy, meron akong y to the 5 kasi y times y to the 4th is y to the 5. So, let's go back to our substitution. So, if u is square root of y to the 5 minus 1, then u squared is y to the 5 minus 1. Then, taking the derivative, 2u du is 5y to the 4th dy. So, in this case, ang meron lang ako y to the 4th dy. So, parang maging 2u du siya, I need to provide this 5 on our integrand. So, if I'm going to provide 5, and then I need to compensate this with 1 over 5. Again, nag-provide ng constant, inilabas ang constant. That's fine. So, this now is equal to 1 over 5 integral of, what is this? Square root of y to the 5 minus 1. So, square root of y to the 5 minus 1 is actually your u multiplied by y to the 5y to the 4th dy, which is actually 2u du over y to the 5. What is this y to the 5? So, from u square is equal to y to the 5 minus 1, I need to transpose that negative 1 so that u square plus 1 is equal to y to the 5. So, that y to the 5 can be written as simply as u squared plus 1. So, this gives you u squared plus 1. So this now gives you 2 over 5 integral of u squared du over u squared plus 1. So again, ang sinabi natin kanina, kapag raw ang degree ng numerator ay equal or greater sa degree ng denominator, divide first. So in this case, 2, 2. So kasama siya sa consideration, equal or greater. So since the degrees are equal, so pwede natin siyang i-divide. So u squared plus 1 ang aking divisor. So u squared divided by u squared is 1. U squared plus 1, remainder is negative 1. So this is 2/5 integral of the quotient. This is your quotient and this is your remainder. So minus 1 over u squared plus 1 du. So simplifying by distributing, that's 2 over 5 integral of du minus 2 over 5 integral of du over u squared plus 1. So this is simply 2 over 5u minus 2 over 5 times 1 over 1 arctangent u over 1 plus c. So that is simply basic trigonometric formula lang na gamit ang arctangent. So that's 1 over 1 arctangent u over 1 plus c. But what is u? Your u here is square root of y to the 5 minus 1. So I can replace this u with square root of y to the 5 minus 1. So therefore, you have u to the 5 square root of y to the 5th minus 1 minus 2 over 5 times 1 over 1 is simply 1 times 2 over 5. It's 2 over 5. Arctangent square root of y to the 5th minus 1 plus c. So that will be our final answer. That's example number 3. Let's have example number 4. So what if I have integral of sine square root of t dt? Okay. What made this complicated is the presence of that square root of t. Kasi nga, di ba, we hate that square root. So I can let u be equal to square root of t. So to eliminate that square root, I need to square both. U square is equal to t. Then 2u du is equal to dt. 2u du is equal to dt, taking its derivative. So this is equal to integral of sine. What's the square root of t? That's your u. And what's dt? That's 2u du. So, nawala na yung radicals. So, pwede na tayong gumamit ng 2 integral of u sine u du. So, if you remember our discussion with integration by parts, so this is combo 2 because this is decreasing, this is recurring function. So sa combo 2, ang u will always be our decreasing and dv will be our recurring function. So in that case, my u is u, my du is du. Sana na iba ko pala ang variable. So u is u, du is du of course. So ang dv is sine u du. So, integrate both sides, then v is equal to negative cosine of u. So, ano ang integral ng u dv? So, sabi, ang integral ng u dv is uv minus integral of v du. So, this is simply uv. So, the product of u and negative cosine u is equal to 2 times the quantity negative u cosine u minus integral of v du. So your v is negative cosine and your du is positive du. So this is negative cosine u du preceded by a negative is positive cosine u du. So this is negative 2u cosine u. This is positive 2 integral of cosine. So you have to distribute that 2 there. So integral of cosine is positive sine u plus c. But then again, your u is simply square root of t. Substituting negative 2 square root of t, cosine square root of t, plus 2 sine square root of t, plus c. So that's our answer. So medyo na-simplify na natin ang ating radical. So natanggal ang radical to free from radical. So that's aim of our algebraic substitution. Let's try one more. So example number 5. I have here integral from 1 to 2 of z plus 1 dz over z square root of z minus 1. So again, meron ako ritong square root of z minus 1. So since yan yung may radical, pwede ko siyang gawing u as square root of z minus 1. So if u is square root of z minus 1, your u square is equal to z minus 1. So again, to eliminate the radical. So taking its derivative, 2u du is equal to dz. So I need z. So I need to transpose that negative 1. So z is equal to u square plus 1. So because I need to transpose that negative 1 on the left side of the equation. So this now gives you integral of z. What is z? Your z is u square plus 1. So this is u square plus 1. That's your z. Plus 1. That's z plus 1. Times dz. Your dz here is 2u du. All over z. Your z is u square plus 1. Multiplied by square root of z minus 1, which is actually u. So in this case, this cancels out. So this gives you 2 integral of u square plus 1 over u square plus 1 plus 1 over u square plus 1. So ginawa lang natin siyang partial fraction. So since this first term, this second term is divided by this term. So first over first plus second over this denominator. So u squared plus 1 is simply 1. And that gives you 2 integral of 1 plus 1 over u squared plus 1 du. Or that's 2 integral of du plus 2 integral of du over u squared plus 1. So, by the way, our integral is definite. So, meron tayong 1 at saka 2 na lower and upper limit respectively. So 1 and 2 limits are exclusive for z variables. So ibig sabihin, hindi natin pwedeng ilagay na 1 to 2 yon kasi this is already u, hindi na siya z. So hindi applicable ang 1 to 2 na limit para kay u. So since nag-introduce tayo ng panibagong variable, we have to change our limit respectively to the substitution that we have used. So meron akong u is equal to square root of z minus 1 as our substitution. So, ang upper limit u, z is 2. Ang lower limit z is 1. So, I need to solve for the corresponding value of u based on our substitution. So, substituting z on my substitution, u is equal to square root of 2 minus 1. Then u is square root of 1. Then u is 1. So, your upper limit now is 1. Upper limit is 1. Ang lower limit ko ay 1. So, z is 1. So, ano yung corresponding value niya kay u? So, substituting square root of 1 minus 1 is 0. So, then u is definitely 0. So, from 0 to 1 na lang yung aking limit. So, that is from 0 to 1. So, parang hindi na natin siya ibabalik dun sa original form niya. So, yon ang advantage ng changing of limits. So, this is 2u from 0 to 1 plus 2 arctangent u from 0 to 1. So, this is 2. Upper limit is 1 minus lower limit 0 plus 2 times the quantity arctangent of 1 minus arctangent of 0. But arctangent of 0 is 0 because tangent of 0 is 0. Arctangent of 1 is pi over 4, which is 45 degrees. So this is 2 times 1 plus 2 times pi over 4. So this is simply 2 plus pi over 2. Or 2, 4 plus pi. So the answer there is 4 plus pi divided by 2. So that's roughly 2 plus 1.5. So mga nasa 3.6 or 3.7. So that's our answer. So again, pag nag-introduce ng panibagong variable, pag definite, you have to change your limit as well, accordingly to the substitution that you have used. Let's try the last one. So I have here integral from 0 to 7 of dy over 1 plus cube root of y plus 1. So again, what made this complicated is because of that cube root of y plus 1. So let u be equal to that cube root of y plus 1. So to eliminate the radical, I need to raise that both to the third power. So u cube is y plus 1. So if u cube is y plus 1, taking the derivative, that's 3u squared du is equal to dy. So that meron tayong pan-substitute sa numerator natin na dy, which is integral of 3u squared du all over 1 plus your cube root of y plus 1 is simply your u. So ano ang limit ulit? So ang limit natin magbabago ulit depende sa ating substitution. So ang aking substitution na ginamit ay y is cube root of y plus 1. So your y na upper limit is 7, ang y na lower limit ay 0. So let's solve for upper limit u. So substituting, u is cube root of 7 plus 1. Substituting y as 7 plus 1 is 8. Then u is cube root of 8. Then u is 2. So your upper limit now is changed from 7 to 2 since ang ating conversion is from y to u na variable. So your lower limit naman is y is equal to 0. Substituting, this is 0 plus 1. Then u is cube root of 0 plus 1. Then u is simply 1 because cube root of 1 is 1. So your lower limit is 1. So this now is 3 integral from 1 to 2 of u squared du over u plus 1. So as you can see, meron na naman akong 2 na exponent which is degree 2. This is degree 1. So which is greater. So again, greater ang degree ng numerator. So I need to divide first. So u squared over u plus 1. So u squared divide u is u. This is u squared plus u. This is negative u. Negative u divided by u is negative 1. This is negative u minus 1. So subtracting ulit, this gives you positive 1. So this is your quotient. This is your remainder. So this now is 3 integral from 1 to 2 of quotient u minus 1 plus the remainder 1 over the divisor u plus 1 du. So distributing, you have 3 integral from 1 to 2 of u du minus 3 integral of du from 1 to 2. Distributing the 3 and du out in each term, plus 3 integral of du over u plus 1 from 1 to 2. So integrating the 2, no, it's 3 terms pala. So that's 3 halves u squared minus 3u plus 3 ln u plus 1 from 1 to 2, from 1 to 2, from 1 to 2. So substituting the limit, that's 3 halves. Upper limit is 2. 2 squared is 4. Lower limit is 1. 1 squared is 1. Minus 3. Upper limit is 2. Minus lower limit is 1. Plus 3. ln of 2 plus 1 is 3. Minus ln of 1 plus 1 is 2. So this now is 3 halves. 3 minus 3 times 1 plus 3 ln of 3 over 2. So applying laws on logarithms, that ln A minus ln B is ln A over B. So this 3 over 2 is 9 halves minus 3. 9 halves minus 3 is 3 halves. Plus 3 ln 3 halves. So that's our answer. 9 halves minus 3, so that is 3 halves. Okay. This is 4.5 minus 3 is 1.5, and that's 3 halves plus 3 ln 3 halves. So that's our final answer. So again, ang lesson natin ay palitan si x para yung komplikado mawala na, para makamove on na tayo at makapagsagot na tayo ng answers. So that's our lesson for today.